They say a mother's love is the strongest force in the world. But what happens when that mother's child vanishes without a trace? What lengths will she go to uncover the truth? In today's episode, we will look at the case of Amy Billig, a Florida girl who disappeared in 1974. We will delve into the chilling details surrounding her abduction and the desperate search for answers that followed. This case has puzzled investigators and haunted the community for over 4 decades. Join us as we explore the twists and turns of this enigmatic case and the relentless pursuit of justice for Amy. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on our thrilling stories. Let's dive right in. On the morning of March 1974, a 26-year-old mother named Shirley Billig woke up in her Palmetto, Florida home, ready to start the day like any other. She had a routine she liked to stick to, taking care of her 2 young children, 6-year-old Joseph and 4-year-old Amy. After breakfast, Shirley would drop off her son at kindergarten and then take Amy to the nearby Our Redeemer Lutheran Church for preschool. It was an ordinary sight for the residents of Palmetto, a small town where Shirley and her kids lived. They were just one of those many typical families living their everyday lives. However, on that fateful day, everything changed. It was a regular day until it wasn't. Shirley drove Amy to school. As she stepped out of the car, Amy promised her mother that she would behave well at school and not skip. Then she ran towards her classroom with her lunch pail in hand. All seemed fine. But little did Shirley know that this seemingly mundane moment was the last time she would see her daughter alive. When it was time to pick up Amy from school, Shirley arrived at the Our Redeemer Lutheran Church only to find a shocking note on the door informing parents that classes were canceled for the day. Thinking nothing of it, she headed to her son's school to pick him up. However, as she approached the school, she noticed something amiss. Her son Joseph was standing by the road waiting for her, but he was alone. His usual chatter was replaced by a stunned silence. He looked back at his mother, his eyes filled with confusion and fear. When Shirley asked about his teacher, Joseph mentioned that someone had come for him and told her they were going to McDonald's. It was an odd statement that sent chills down her spine. Shirley felt a sudden rush of panic. Where was his teacher? And why had someone come for her son? In a state of mounting worry, Shirley quickly called the police. She reported that both her children were missing, and a frantic search began. But as the hours passed without any trace of the missing kids, fear turned to despair. The community rallied together, organizing search parties and poring over every possible lead. But the longer the children remained missing, the dimmer the hope of finding them alive became. And then there was that unsettling call. In the days following the disappearance of her children, Shirley received a ransom call from someone claiming to have Joseph. They demanded money in exchange for his safe return. But the bizarre twist in the tale was that Shirley knew her son was already dead. The police had recovered his body, but they kept it a secret from her, hoping it would lead to the recovery of Amy. Little did they know that this secret would soon unravel a dark conspiracy that would shock the entire nation. What did the police initially believe happened to Amy? Let me know your thoughts below. After the tragic discovery of Joseph's body, the focus of the investigation shifted entirely to finding Amy alive. Law enforcement officials believed that she was still out there somewhere, held captive by the same person or persons responsible for her brother's death. They worked tirelessly to piece together the events of that fateful day, hoping to find a lead that could point them in the direction of the kidnapper. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the investigation hit a standstill. Every lead seemed to lead nowhere, and the mystery of Amy's whereabouts deepened. Yet her mother refused to give up hope. In a heartbreaking turn of events, Shirley received another phone call, this time from someone who claimed to be Joseph. On the other end of the line was a man who said he was Joseph, claiming to be the boy from the road. He told her that he had taken her son to a specific location under the guise of buying him ice cream. But when he returned, Joseph was gone. Confused and distressed, Shirley found herself caught in a web of deceit. Who was this man? Was he genuinely confused, or was he part of the sinister plot that had befallen her children? The police pursued every lead, but the trail always seemed to grow cold. The weight of the unanswered questions pressed heavily on Shirley's heart. Why had someone taken her son only to leave him unharmed? What was the true motive behind it all? These questions echoed in her mind day and night, tormenting her and offering no solace. Despite the lack of progress, Shirley's determination to find her daughter never wavered. Years turned into decades, yet she remained steadfast in her pursuit of justice for Amy. She became a tireless advocate for missing children, speaking at events and raising awareness in the hopes that no other parent would have to endure the agony that she had faced. But the story takes a darker turn with the emergence of a suspect, a man named John Evander Cooey. He became a person of interest due to his suspicious behavior around the time of Amy's disappearance. Eyewitnesses reported seeing him loitering near the school, which immediately raised red flags. Plus, he had a history of similar activities. In the past, he had been linked to the kidnapping of several young girls. However, despite the mounting evidence against him, Cooey managed to evade capture for years. But his luck would eventually run out. In a dramatic turn of events, authorities finally caught up with John Evander Cooey in 1983. When questioned, he denied any involvement in Amy's disappearance, but his alibi fell apart under scrutiny. With limited forensic technology available at the time, the evidence against him was circumstantial. Shirley clung to hope that justice for Amy would finally be served. But sadly, that was not meant to be. Why was the case against John Evander Cooey unable to secure a conviction? Let me know your thoughts below. After John Evander Cooey's arrest, the media frenzy reached new heights. Every news outlet wanted to cover the story, each believing they had a piece of the puzzle. But as the trial progressed, the case took an unexpected twist. The star witness, Joseph, suddenly changed his testimony, contradicting the initial reports. He now claimed that he didn't know anything about his sister's disappearance. Overnight, Cooey went from being a prime suspect to a free man. The once hopeful whispers of justice turned into angry shouts of disbelief. For Shirley, it was a devastating setback, but she refused to let her daughter's case fade into oblivion. Time may have dulled the memory of some, but for Shirley, the pain of losing Amy was as fresh as the day it happened. She knew deep down that there were others involved in her daughter's disappearance, a conspiracy that ran deeper than anyone could have imagined. The thought of her baby girl trapped somewhere, yearning for her mother's love, kept her going. She vowed to keep Amy's memory alive. As the years rolled on, new theories emerged, each more shocking than the last. Some believed that the abductors were members of a notorious motorcycle gang. Their leader, a charismatic yet ruthless man named Slick Willie, had been spotted with a young girl matching Amy's description. Then there was the theory that Amy was still alive, held captive in a secret location, her identity erased. Each theory added another layer of complexity to the case. Shirley, however, remained undeterred. She scoured through old documents, revisited crime scenes, and interviewed people close to the case. Her determination led her to a retired detective who had worked on Amy's case. Together, they dug through evidence, hoping to find a clue that had been overlooked. But as they delved deeper, they stumbled upon a horrifying revelation. Amy's blood was found in the trunk of the car that had been used to transport her brother's body. The realization that her daughter had been in the same vehicle as her deceased brother sent a chill down Shirley's spine. It was a grim reminder of the brutality of the crime. The case of Amy Billig serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk within society. While justice may have eluded the grasp of those seeking closure, the pursuit of the truth continues. The efforts of dedicated individuals like Shirley and the unwavering support of the community keep the hope of finding answers alive. This case will continue to haunt the minds of many until the truth is unraveled. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and share for more updates. See you next time.